Hi, this is my Spokane, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. Today, we want to deal with part two of this great topic that speaks about transform from arrogant to humility. Transform from arrogance to humility as a young man. And this is part two today that we're dealing with. And I want to say this, that arrogance doesn't pay. Arrogance is actually irritating to people. And as I've said, as a young man, please make sure that you identify any arrogant behavior from you and transform from it to humility, because you're going to shut your doors out. You're going to make people not want to associate with you. You're going to lose out on things that you need to gain and start to see things happening in your life. Some of the things you're going to not get benefit of them because of the arrogant spirit that is in you. Now, I want you to transform as a young man from arrogance to humility. And this is part two that we're dealing with today. I want to mention that arrogance has got a tendency of interrupting others. Arrogance has got a tendency of stepping into meetings whereby you're not even invited. Invite yourself, step into that meeting and start interrupting. And that's the spirit of gate crashing that comes with arrogance, whereby you go to places that you are not even invited. That spirit of arrogance. Now, as a young man, please, I want to warn you against that. That you cannot interrupt the people in their meetings and step in even when they are still busy. We have seen this happening, whereby people have got a meeting, sitting, maybe in an office. We see somebody knocking and even entering and start even speaking while people are busy speaking, and you come and interrupt and speak. That is vividly what we call arrogance. And as a young man, please make sure that you don't have this type of a spirit. It is irritating when people are standing and talking or sitting and talking in a meeting and you step in and start talking as well. So this is disrespectful, and it comes with the spirit of arrogance, because you feel that people should listen to you more than they listen to each other. People should listen to you because you are the Mr. Know-it-all, and they must listen to you alone. And as you walk already speaking. You walk already talking, and you expect them to respond to you while you found them speaking. And that is disrespect, and it's a tendency of arrogant spirit. Now, I want you as a young man to convert from that. Interruption also comes with where people are speaking and they just speaking their own things, and you enter and come with another topic and start speaking. You don't even ask permission of the people that are speaking. You step in and you start speaking. That's interrupting. Now, interruption comes from arrogance, and we have seen this happening. We have seen even in meetings where young men group each other to go and interrupt the meetings. We have seen this in political circles, whereby there are meetings taking place, but people will gather together and go and interrupt that meeting. That is arrogance. Now, the spirit of humility is not having that. It's actually able to give space to people, to give opportunity to people to finish that which they're busy with. And if you find people talking, stand aside for a while and wait for them to finish before you step in to want to talk. Before you call one of the people to want to talk to them, make sure that they are finished with what they're saying. Now, interruption also speaks about when people are on the phone. Somebody's on the phone, then you're interrupting them, and you are actually wanting to speak to them while they're on the phone. That is arrogance as well. And we have seen these things happening. And I want to emphasize that the spirit of humility has got an ability to give people space, because the spirit of humility knows that not everything is emergency. Not everything is agent, because many people that are having the spirit of arrogance, they make agent everything that is not agent. And even things that are not emergency, they make them an emergency, and they jump in. They want to make sure that something happens now, not tomorrow. And they want you to do something in the time that they want you to do it. And that is the spirit of arrogance. Now, as a young man, please make sure that you don't have this type of spirit. Rise up to the occasion and make sure that you respect the people when people are engaged in talk, when people are engaged in a meeting. So please don't interrupt them, because that is the spirit of arrogance. The spirit of humility has got a tendency of giving people space of their own and for people to finish with what they're doing before they attend to you. As a young man, please, let's learn that. The spirit of arrogance wants to be right at all times, while the spirit of humility has got an open mind. And this, as a young man, I want you to take note of that. So don't want to be right at all times. You cannot be right at all times. Now, people that are arrogant, they want to win debates. And everything that they raise, they want everybody to be saying this is right. And if they find that people are opposing the things that they are inputting into the discussion, they actually become resentful about that. They become angry about that. And they therefore don't respect the people that are opposing them. And that's the spirit of arrogance. And as a young man, I hope you'll be careful of this and you will transform yourself, if you have in the spirit, to the spirit of humility that is open-minded. Remember that you cannot be right at all times. There are things that you think they are right in your life because you have lived according to them for the rest of your life, or you've seen them the rest of your life, or you've been doing them in a certain way the rest of your life. But a humble person is able to say, wait, let me learn from other people, because I may be thinking that I'm right here while I'm wrong, and I can only realize that I'm wrong when I see how others are doing things, when I listen to others speaking to me, and I can now know that I am right, I am wrong, and I can correct where I need to correct. That's the spirit of humility. Open-mindedness to be able to listen to other people. Open-mindedness to receive other people's ideas and be able to implement them. Open-mindedness to be able to change where you need to change and not to be rigid and think that you are right at all times. Now, the spirit of arrogance has got the tendency of feeling that they are right at all times. But please, as a young man, adopt the spirit of humility to become open-minded. And I've said that when you are open-minded, you are going to read, even when you read something or a book, you're going to read it with open-mindedness, with a readiness to change, with a readiness to see things in a different perspective. Because life is not as rehearsed as a drama. Life is not a movie. Life is not a drama, and it's not rehearsed. So therefore, open-mindedness is very important in this regard, because that's the only thing that is going to make you to mature and become a better person. And we have seen that rigid people, they remain and stay in their mistakes because they think they're right at all times, and they don't improve because they see themselves as right. They see themselves as knowing the ultimate. So therefore, what happens is they don't improve. They don't become better in their lives. Now, I want to emphasize this as a young man. Please transform from the spirit of arrogance and become humble. Be open-minded and be ready to listen to others and to learn from other individuals. And this is very key, because when you learn from other people and implement that which you have learned from them, you become a better person tomorrow. And people that are humble become better and better, and they mature and grow because they learn from others and implement that which they've learned and become better people. And that is the milestone of growth in life, learning from other people. But that can only come through a spirit that is open-minded, minded. And therefore, you don't become arrogant and think that you are the ultimate and you know the ultimate, you know everything. Can I say to you as a young man that remember, you cannot know everybody. You cannot know everything. You cannot know everywhere. So therefore, it is not possible for you to think that you are right at all times, because depending on what you know, depending on what you've been exposed to, then you can claim to know. Depending on what you've learned along in your life, depending on the experience that you have in your life, then you can claim to be knowing. But listen to this. That's arrogant spirit to think that you know it all. So I want to urge you as a young man to transform from arrogance and become humble, and therefore be open-minded and learn from others, learn from other ideas, and become an improved individual and become better in your life. I want to end up here today. your host, Makona Spokane. Thank you very much once more for listening to us and being part of this topic. I want to deal with part 3 tomorrow. Please join us as we deal with part 3 tomorrow. May the good Lord bless you, and cheers for now.